What is up, people of the internet, and welcome back to Interesting Factoids. Today we're going to be talking about today's federal holiday of Martin Luther King Jr. and some interesting factoids about him. Interesting factoid, Martin Luther King's actual name is Michael Luther King. Anne Frank and Martin Luther King actually were born the same year. In 1964, Martin Luther King received a letter from the FBI accusing him of extramarital affairs and suggesting that he should commit suicide. Damn, savage. Martin Luther King actually plagiarized for a small part of his doctoral dissertation that was actually written by another student. Martin Luther King actually had used the dream rhetoric in many of his other small speeches. Interesting factoid, Martin Luther King was jailed 29 times. Martin Luther King actually was the youngest person to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize, but after 1974, someone else younger than him won it. Martin Luther King actually foretold his future/death by one of his last speeches that he gave, which he mentioned that African Americans will get to the promised land, but he said that he may not get there with them. Martin Luther King actually used the money that he won from his prize to actually continue with the civil rights movement. That's what I call motivation and dedication. Interesting factoid, we all know that Martin Luther King was inspired by Gandhi, but there was actually another person that he was really inspired from, which was Bayard Rustin. We know that Martin Luther King was a non-violent protester, but he actually bought a gun permit to protect his family from intruders. But that has been it for today's video of Interesting Factoids. But remember one thing is that you should never judge a person by the color of their skin, but the context of their character.